70-30, 60-40. Dapat daw 60% nasa menu ng DPWH. Tsaka, alam niyo po yun?
Sa ngayon po, ang sinabi po sa akin ay nasa 60-40 po tayo, no?
Opo.
40%, sorry. Mr. Chair, if you could just allow me to get the numbers right.
Mr. Secretary, can I?
Ay, opo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Chair po. Sorry po.
Actually, the 46, Honorable, this is an agreement between us and DPWH that the 40% of our NAP or National Expenditure Program will be identified by the House of or the RDC through RDC through their RBP or Regional Budget Proposal, and then it will be deliberated in the PDC's Provincial Development Council, and these are all projects that concerns local projects or local concerns. Now, while the 60% are the core program of the Department of Public Works and Highways. Core programs means the PAPs or the program activities and projects are the main mandate of the Department of Public Works and Highways. That is national roads, bridges, and flood control. But flood control is now canceled, so yun lang ang atin. Yung 40% ay mga local concern. But this should pass through the regional office through their RBPs.
Opo, tama po si Kong Momo po. Yun din po ang pagkakapaliwanag sa akin ngayon. 40% is essentially locally proposed projects, meaning at the district levels, and then 60% are the core projects of DPWH.
Ang gusto ko lang pong yun, kasi if you go to my district, tingnan niyo yung National Highway, talagang, okay, maganda. Puting-puti, pag tinignan mo sa taas. Pag tinignan mo yung papasok, wala halos eh. Ang ano ko lang is, I understand may ganung agreement, pero hindi siguro applicable sa mga mahihirap masyadong distrito yon. Kasi number one, we spend billions every year sa National Highway, and magkano naman yung ginagamit natin para sa mga kalsadang gamit ng mga magsasaka natin. Di ba po? Kaya minsan nagmumungkahi ako na baka pwede namang maging reasonable naman tayo, maging makatao naman tayo, because we cannot be blind to the sufferings of our people na nangangailangan, example, ng farm-to-market roads. Kasi I invite you to go to my district, mag-aerial reconnaissance tayo, makikita nyo, puting-puti ang highway. Tapos papasok, wala halos. Tapos ang mga nire-request namin, ako nalungkot nga ako nung sinabing pati yung mga seawall, bawal na kasi meron na, kasi coastal kasi kami na distrito. Marami kaming mga barangay na matagal na nakikiusap na sana yung seawall nila matrabaho kasi lagi silang binabaha. Ang mga mahihirap nating mga kapatid, pag binabaha sila, reset yung buhay nila kasi konting-konti na nga yung gamit nila, nababasa pa. Tapos, hindi yung tulad ng mga mayayaman, pag nabasa ka, lilipat ka lang sa kabilang bahay mo, di ba? Yung iba, so, ngayon wala na yung seawall. Sana po, next year, pwede na yung mga kailangan. Kasi I echo the sentiments of Kong Egay. Kung nga, yung mga siraulo, ipunish natin sila. Pero yung mga distrito naman na maayos ang pag-implement, kasi kailangan ng mga tao, ibigay po natin yon. I would like to get your opinion regarding yung strict na 60-40, 70-30, kahit na hindi naman kailangan minsan ng mga tao yung ginagawa.
Mr. Chair, I completely understand po ang sentiments ng ating congressman from Zamboanga del Norte, Congressman Amatong. Nakikita po mismo natin yan, no, na napakaganda po ng mga national highway, pero yung mga feeder roads na kailangan ng mga kababayan natin, lalo na papunta sa mga palengke, papunta sa mga farms, kulang na kulang po. And we will consider that po. It's just that, kung mamarapatin nyo po, sa susunod pong budget kung saan po talagang may implement natin ang mga kinakailangang reforma na talagang gawin na natin unang tama itong ating budgeting from the time na magtawag po tayo ng budget call from the local development councils paakyat sa provincial, paakyat sa RDC hanggang umabot po sa DPWH Central. Kasi po mukhang hindi po ganon ang nangyayari ngayon. No? At sana po, kung mamarapatin nyo, sa susunod pong budget process, no, sa susunod na taon, magtulungan po tayo na ganun na po ang gawin natin. Para yung pong talagang mga nangangailangan ng mga kalye, lalo na sa mga lugar na who need it the most, talagang mabibigyan po ng budget na kailangan nila.
Mr. Chair, we understand what you're doing and we appreciate it. At saka naiintindihan din natin na may growing pains talaga itong changes na gusto natin. In fact, nakita ko yung wisdom nung pag-slash ng budget eh. Kasi, syempre, hemorrhage na tayo eh. Di tigil na muna natin. Pero sana lang po it takes just this year lang. Sana next year yung mga kailangan natin, pag naitama natin yung mga proseso, yung mga kailangan natin, mag-reflect na talaga doon. Tsaka very important po yung sinasabi kong, yung kinakailangan. Kasi in the past years, tuwing nagmumungkahi kami ng pwedeng i-prioritize, laging sinasabi ng DPWH na, dapat kasi, sabi kasi ng taas, ganito kasi lang yung pwede. Samantalang yung pera naman po natin, hindi naman pag-aari ng DPWH, iba po, o kung sinong politiko, sa mga tao naman yun. Ang sa amin lang pakiusap, sana yung kinakailangan talaga ng mga tao. And I believe, even if you ask on the ground, lagi ako umiikot sa distrito namin, I know what we need. But sometimes when I ask for DPWH to prioritize, hindi na pa-prioritize. Sino bang sinisilbihan natin? Ang DPWH o ang tao?
Mr. Chair, I could not agree more po with Congressman Namatong. We really need to change itong proseso. We need to put in the safeguards to ensure na itong mga budget talagang reflective of the real needs of the people on the ground and the districts. No? At unfortunately, mukha pong hindi ganon ang nangyayari itong mga nakaraan. Pero ang commitment ko po, talagang aayusin po natin ito.
Mr. Chair, on behalf of my constituents in my district, we have 100% full support sa ginagawa nyo. Sana maitama nyo, sana lang medyo mabilis-bilis. Kasi nangangailangan talaga yung mga constituents natin ng maayos na mga proyekto galing sa DPWH na mapapakinabangan nila. Thank you very much po for answering your questions.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much. And again, if I may add, nag-usap po kami ni Secretary kanina na ang maganda sigurong gawin natin, particularly the district representatives, is to get involved in the regional budgeting process and then kumonsulta tayo at tutukan natin yung RDC, yung Regional Development Council, para lahat ng mga priority projects, siguraduhin nyo na nandun. Although hindi man ma-accommodate lahat, pero at least from that process, madali ng pulutin ni Secretary from the Regional Development Council. So please involve yourselves, especially this next budget process, involve yourselves in the development of that budget through the RDCs. Thank you. So now we go back to the minority, and the chair now recognizes Representative Dagook.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone, especially to the DPWH. First of all, before I raise the issues that I have been raising, tumawa na kaagad si Yusek Topas. I would like to convey my sincere appreciation to the statement of the God Secretary that he will be regularly reporting to Congress what he has been doing in the DPWH to correct those mistakes in the past. Ikaw lang po yung secretary na nagsabi niyan. Kabaligtaran po yung ginawa ng National Irrigation na tinanong ko, very clear sa GAA, special provision na magre-report sila quarterly doon sa mga irrigation na natapos o hindi, pero hindi sila nagre-report. But here you are, voluntarily, you are telling Congress that you will regularly report. So, I really appreciate that, Mr. Secretary. Now, to the issue, Mr. Secretary, that I have been raising for the past 6 years that I've been here in Congress, na parang nagbibingi-bingihan ang DPWH. Itong mga pambayad po, itagalog ko na lang kasi yung 6 na taon, ini-English ko eh. Baka hindi naintindihan ng taga-DPWH. Yung pong budget pambayad ng DPWH sa full relocation ng mga poste na tinatamaan ng ating national highways, no, mga national projects na road widening. Bakit po year in, year out, alam naman po nila, nasa gitna na yung mga poste. In the case of electric cooperatives, Mr. Secretary, alam ko hindi mo to alam, pero alam po to ng mga katabi mo dyan. Bakit po hindi nila nilalagay sa NEP? Marami na pong namatay, ang tinuturo po yung mga distribution utilities. Malinaw naman po yung intent ng batas na kaya babayaran yon in the case of electric cooperatives because these entities are non-stock, non-profit, serving the non-viable areas in the country, yung mga parplang. At kung hindi po ito babayaran ng gobyerno, yung cost of relocation ay ipapasa po yon sa mga consumers. At sasabihin na naman po na nagtaas yung presyo ng kuryente. So, bakit po? For last year po, 200 million lang ang ginawa niyong budget. Alam naman po ninyo, 5 billion na po yung accumulated na cost of full relocation including Meralco and the other distribution utilities. Ngayon, yung NEP natin sa 2026, Mr. Secretary, originally 2 billion. Pero ngayon, binawasan na po 1 billion na lang. Can I get for the last time sana, na-erase ko to, can I get the commitment from our new secretary na yung accumulated amount na as of now is 4.8 billion ay mailagay na natin sa ating NEP sa 2026 para mailipat na po yung mga poste na yan without cost on the people. Mga inosente po yung mga tao na yon. This is part of the project cost, Mr. Secretary.
Opo. Mr. Chair, Congressman.
Of the House to review and pass the
alam nyo,
national
itong
budget.
relocation ng utilities, napaka-importante po ito, no? At ngayon ko lang po nakita yung mga numero. And again, I think more than the budget itself, no, is ang nagiging problema dito is yung paggamit ng pondo. And I have been told na meron pa po tayong unutilized mula pa ng 2022. No, marami pa pong pondo dito na hindi pa nagagamit. No, dahil po ay na-explain po sa akin dahil po ang daming mga requirements, etc., etc. Pero bottom line is, ito po ang isa sa mga example ng pinopondoan po ng Kongreso ang DPWH, pero po, ang nagiging problema, hindi yung pondo, kundi yung paggamit ng pondo. No? So, as of now po, yung 2023, 24, at 25, meron pa pong natitirang more than 500 million. No, just in those 3 years. No, kaya nga po ang issue po talaga dito is how efficient is the agency in utilizing the budget it is given by Congress. So, I have to get to the bottom of it po, Mr. Chair. I know it's very, very important. I agree with you 100%. Pero ang commitment ko po sa inyo, ngayon po na nandito na po ako, talagang ipaprioritize ko po ang paggamit nitong pondong to para finally po, yung mga kailangang i-relocate na. Halimbawa po, baka naman po ang pinakamadaling gawin dito para mas mabilis, i-MOA na lang natin o i-download na lang natin sa local governments ang pagre-relocate para po baka mas mabilis po yun. No? Isa po yun sa mga sigurong pag-aaralan natin. Mr. Chair, no? Pero kailangan po talaga, tama po kayo, kailangan magamit po ang pondo.
Mr. Chair, para sa kaalaman ni Secretary, mayroon na po tayong kumpletong joint memorandum circular nito from the Department of Energy and the DPWH. Very simple lang. Susundin lang natin yung GMC kasi dapat po doon pa sa paggawa ng program of work. Pero sabi mo nga, marami tayong project, wala namang program of work. Basta na lang susulpot diyan sa sa NEP natin, sa GAA. So, susundin lang po 'yon. Ang latest po, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, na agreement last year, gagawa po ng Joint Memorandum Circular number 4. Tatlo na po yung nandyan. Gagawa ng number 4 para yung pondo ilipat sa National Electrification Administration. Tapos yung NIA na ang magdi-disburse. Kasi under the GMC, tatlong GMC, ang NIA naman po ang may final say mag-evaluate doon sa aming ikiklaim. Hindi po yun masusunod. Kung mag-claim kami ang cost is 1 million, pero sasabihin ng NIA, no, ang mag-claim ninyo ay 2,000 lang. Yung pong NIA ang masusunod. Kaya po matagal kasi iba-iba po, Mr. Chair, ang interpretasyon ng regional director, iba ang interpretasyon ng district engineer doon sa GMC. Tira lang sila, ipaalam sa electric co-op, nag-umpisa na yung construction. At alam ko po na ma-resolve mo to kasi pinabayaan nila to dahil walang kikita dito sa ganito kasi actual cost. Ang inuuna nila, with all due respect, doon sa mga hindi gumagawa ng kalokohan, ang inuuna nila, yung may pangkasino sila. So, I hope, no, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, na under your watch, wala na tayong issue next year budget kasi may 3 taon pa ko dito, wala na tayong issue regarding sa full relocation. Can I get the commitment from our good Secretary?
Mr. Chairman, you absolutely have it po. And we will plug these bottlenecks, plug these loopholes. At ako po, ang commitment ko po sa inyo, bibilisan po natin to. Kung ang mas mabilis po talaga, sa NEA na lang tayo dadaan, then yun po ang gagawin natin.
Thank you for that commitment. Tutulong po kami. Alam naman po ni Yosik yan. Matagal na po kaming tumulong. Hindi lang makipagtulungan yung in charge. Nandito po ba si Attorney Daryl Patrick Garcia? Nasa DP pa siya? Si Attorney Nico Tupas, nasa DP pa siya?
Thank you.
Yung pong si Attorney Tupas, rinigib ko po last week kasi masyado pong mayabang nakipag-away po sa guard ng isang subdivision. So,
Kita mo, so I hope na bago na yung team mo ngayon, later on, kung makasikan round ako, hihingin ko lang yung team mo na gumawa ng first NEP submission at saka yung team mo ngayon. Para lang malaman ko, baka marami pa dyan natitira na magbibigay ng ng inputs na kawawa yung ating mamamayan. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the extra time. Thank you, Secretary po.
Thank you very much, Representative Dagok. Like I said, like the Secretary said, bukas naman ang opisina niya para sa lahat ng mga konsultasyon mo para hindi ka na kailangan mag-round 2. Puntahan mo na lang siya para ma-resolve ninyo. So now we go back to the majority. I now recognize Vice Chair Brian Poe.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I first want to applaud the DPWH Secretary kasi siya mismo ang bumababa, siya mismo ang nagtatanong sa mga local government officials, sa mga kababayan natin kung ano yung mga issue sa mga projects that are being implemented poorly, no? At ramdam yan ng mga kababayan natin. So along those lines, I want to ask some questions regarding the ongoing investigation. Mr. Secretary, how many cases have been prepared so far?
Before you reply, Mr. Secretary, let me just interject. I hope with your permission and indulgence, kung okay lang po, magkaroon na lang tayo ng working lunch kasi anyway, magbe-break naman tayo ng 2:30 or 2:45 for expediency's sake.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
po,
much.
Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you very much.
No problem po. Kahit wala na pong lunch, okay lang po.
Yes, so returning to the question, ilan po ba yung mga kaso na nahanda po natin?
Opo, in the 2 weeks that we've been here po, we have filed one case. We filed it against 26 individuals last week, last Thursday. We are preparing, as of the moment, 3 more cases as of the moment. But we are currently in the process of investigating more than 100 projects nationwide. No, ngayon po na natayo na ang ICI, kami po ngayon ay nakikipag-coordinate na sa ICI para sa future filing of new cases. No, and based on my discussions po with the ICI in the past few days, ang goal po is that tuloy-tuloy po ang pagpa-file, and we are targeting po ng at least 1 case every week ang ipa-file. At least.
At least 1 case every week. And did I hear that right? Over 100 projects are being investigated at the moment.
Opo, and I think dadami pa po yan. Sa dami ng mga nagsusumite, hindi lamang sa amin, kundi pati na rin sa isumbong sa Pangulo website.
Dun sa mga complaints po natin, what year to what year are those complaints coming from?
Iba-iba po, Mr. Chair, no? Minsan po, marami po dito, pati po yung previous administration, no? Sa years 2017, 2018, 2019, pero meron din pong mga nagpapadala ng mga reklamo nila at sumbong nila, ito pong mga recent, katulad po nitong mga nakaraang binisita natin sa Bulacan, sa kahapon sa La Union, etc. At sa mga susunod na araw din po, pati po sa Quezon City, meron po tayong bibisitahin dahil po dun sa press conference ni Mayor Joy Belmonte kahapon.
So out of the
Pero
100...
it's spanning at least the past couple of years, and dun din po sa EO ng Pangulo, ang mandato po niya ay the past 10 years.
So the past 10 years we have complaints from projects spanning 10 years, no? Dito sa 100 projects that we're currently investigating, what year seems to have the most projects in question?
Hindi ko po masasabi kung ano ang ano, pero spread out po ito No, meron pong mga 22, 23, 24, meron din pong mga iba na 2018, kagaya po nung binisita ng ating Pangulo sa Baguio, 2018 po yon. Meron din pong earlier than that. No? At meron din pong even during the pandemic, meron din po tayong mga nakukuhang mga reklamo. So ano po ito, no? Talagang napakarami po, no? Kaya nga po, mabuti pong nagsimula na rin po ang trabaho ng ICI para po meron tayong katulong at katuwang dito.
Mr. Chair, I want to highlight this for the record that the cases span from 2017 all the way up until 2024, and more recently, the projects that are being investigated in Bulacan and La Union. My point being, this has been an institutional problem that we're trying to correct. Mr. Chair, if I may ask the good secretary, do you have any particular reforms that you want to highlight in the DPWH that our kababayans listening online can proudly listen to?
Actually, marami po tayong naiisip, no? At marami tayong gustong i-implement. Our only, I guess our only, right now, what we are dealing with is number one, pagpasok ko po dito 2 weeks ago, exactly 2 weeks ago, is nabombard na po tayo ng napakaraming mga reklamo na nagsimula na rin po sa mga sumbong na pinadala sa ating Pangulo mismo. Kaya po, medyo nauubos po ang oras natin ngayon sa pag-iimbestiga ng mga kasong at proyektong rini-report sa atin. So tingin ko po, ang una pong order of business natin ngayon is kailangan i-address natin itong mga reklamong ito. Number 1 po yon. Because we have to make people accountable. At yun na po ang ginagawa natin, katulong na rin ngayon ng bagong tayong ICI. Kaya po, meron na tayong final na unang kaso. Sa aking pagkakaalam, meron pong panibagong kaso na ipa-file this week ang ICI. Nabigay na po namin ang mga dokumento para sa kasong iyon. At sa mga susunod na linggo, tuloy-tuloy po ito. And this will involve multiple personalities both from within the department and outside of the department. Parallel to that, nagsisimula na rin po tayong pag-aralan ng mabuti ang mga proseso sa DPWH. Dahil sa ating pag-i-inspect, sa ating pagkakausap sa mga tao mismo na nasa baba, pati na rin po ang ating mga local government officials, ang ating mga provincial officials, may nakikita na po tayong mga red flag na kailangan nating i-address. Halimbawa po, yung nasabi ko kanina, marami po sa mga proyektong iniimbestigahan natin ngayon ay simulat sa pool pa lamang, wala man lang ni plano. Una pong red flag yun. Dapat po wala pong nakakalusot na proyekto na ginalagyan ng pondo sa budget na ini-implement, pinapabid, na wala man lang plano. Ngayon lang po ako nakakita ng departamento na nagkakaroon ng budget at naaawardan ng proyekto na wala man lang engineering plan. No, wala pa po ako nakikitang gano'n. At talaga po ako'y nasa-shock na nangyayari po ito sa loob ng DPWH. That needs to be addressed immediately. And it should not be difficult to address it, Mr. Chairman. No? Kung i-require lang po natin na lahat ng proyektong bago ipasok sa budget, dapat may klarong plano, hindi po mangyayari ito. Pero mukhang hindi po yon ang nangyayari ngayon. At marami pa pong iba, no, na ito nga po, nag-issue na po tayo ng interim guidelines for public procurement na ginabas natin nung isang araw. Lahat po ito ay hindi bago, lahat po ito ay requirement sa ating mga batas at regulasyon ngayon, including the recently passed amended Government Procurement Act. Pero po, hindi po ito ginagawa at hindi po ito strictly enforced. Sa lahat ng levels ng departamento, kailangan po ito ay strictly enforced. At kung hindi po ito sundin, meron po dapat klarong consequence ang hindi pagsunod dito. Yun po ay ginawa na natin klaro sa ating memorandum dated nung Monday, September 15, which I will provide po copies of to the Honorable Committee. Pero hindi pa po tayo pwedeng uminto dyan. Marami pa pong pwede po tayong baguhin. At again po, we will be very, very open to hearing suggestions from the members of the Honorable Committee para po talagang once and for all malinis na po natin itong mga prosesong ito.
Mr. Chair, to the credit of the Secretary, I do believe he's acting on the red flags that he discussed earlier because if I'm not mistaken, may mga locally funded projects na pinitigil muna to inspect. What is the current utilization rate of the department? Kasi syempre baka maapektuhan ang utilization rate dahil sa suspensions na ito.
Ito po, I will just read the facts, no? The current budget utilization rate is only 33%. And again, this was actually one of the considerations we made while we were visiting. Although, syempre po, given the limited time that we were given, hindi po natin nabusisi lahat ito, no? Pero, I think this needs a lot of improvement. Ang obligation rate, ito po yung, naintindihan naman po natin to as contracts being awarded, ay 66%. Ang disbursement rate, ito pong pagbayad, no, pag-release ng pondo, ay nasa 22% lang po. So hindi po ito mataas. Ito po ay as of June 30, 2025, kailangan pong pataasin ito. At dito na po tayo pumapasok din, hindi lamang sa kung magkano ang budget ng departamento, pero kung paano ka efficient ang paggamit ng departamento ng budget, which I think also needs to be a major consideration kapag humihingi po tayo every year ng budget sa Kongreso.
Mr. Chair, the reason why I asked this is to the credit of the Secretary and to the administration. 22% ang disbursement rate, which means there's still funds, there's still projects that are being monitored closely in this budget. It's safe to say that the 2025 budget is probably the closest monitored implementation in DPWH's history because of the public outcry of our kababayans and the swift action of the administration and our secretary. Is this correct?
This is what we will strive to do po. Ang sabi po ng Pangulo nung bago po ako umupo. kailangan pong i-monitor ng maigi ang pag-implement ng mga proyekto. Sad to say, what I have seen so far is very lacking. No, talaga pong itong mga proyektong ating in-inspect, hindi po talaga na-monitor ito ng maigi. Kaya isa po ito sa mga kailangang ayusin po natin. Kailangan po nating humingi ng tulong sa ating local stakeholders dahil po sa aking, as of the latest count, I think 25,000 po ang ongoing projects ng DPWH ngayon. Physically impossible pong i-monitor yan kung DPWH lang. So we will need to put in systems, we need to use technology, we need the help of our local stakeholders, civil society groups, our local government units, our provincial governments to really help us monitor this. Kasi napakarami pong mga proyekto nito.
Pero for our kababayans listening online, Mr. Secretary, it's safe to say with 78% still to be dispersed, we can still save and implement the projects properly for 2025.
Yun po ang gagawin natin, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, moving on to my next question. In the 2026 budget naman po, you mentioned earlier that there are still some foreign-assisted flood control projects. I have here a copy of the NEP. Nakalagay dito may 1.2 billion pesos pa rin sa Metro Manila for flood control projects. Regarding these projects, I had my office compile the 5-year historical rainfall data and flood data from NOAA because I know you just came into office, so baka you're still catching up with all the data. We wanted to put it together. We will furnish a copy to DPWH because ang dami dito sa Metro Manila nagko-complain sa kanilang mga lugar, taon-taon may baha. Kaya we wanted to have this data ready for you para you can take action agad on these issues. Regarding the rest of the country, because we only had so much time to prepare this for you, Mr. Secretary, how is our coordination with Project NOAA to make sure that our data is accurate for the 15 billion pesos that will be spent?
For the foreign-assisted projects po na 15.7 billion, very close po ang coordination natin sa with the OST, with Project NOAA, and also with the funding agencies, no, to make sure na talagang that the projects, the foreign-assisted flood control projects, are really very responsive to the needs of the communities where these projects are going to be built. I think we have to really learn from the experience of these foreign-assisted projects in also implementing later on, no? Since wala po tayo munang bagong flood control project for 2026, tingin ko po important po matuto tayo sa mga lessons at sa mga best practices natin sa foreign-assisted projects, no? Na talagang may tamang pag-aaral, may tamang plano, at lahat po ng project ay base sa data kung paano talaga i-mitigate ang pagbabaha sa mga area kung saan itatayo ang mga projects nito. So, maraming salamat, Mr. Chair, kasi po any data that you can provide us in addition to what we already have for the foreign-assisted projects will be very welcome po.
Maraming salamat po. And for our kababayans that are worried, kasi this, I believe, is the lowest flood control budget that DPWH has ever submitted to Congress. No?
I believe so, Mr. Chairman. And also one of the lowest, I think, in the past 6 years or 5 years. No, it's the lowest DPWH budget since 2020.
But this is important for our kababayans here because they're worried about the efficiency and wastage of government funds. So dapat malaman nila yun. But aside from that also, yung mga kababayan natin in areas that regularly flood, they may be worried na baka wala nang pondo para sa kanilang mga lugar. I know that the Secretary will be using funds from 2024, 2025 that is still yet to be dispersed. Can you tell us how much funding they still have to be implemented properly by DPWH?
Mr. Chair, if I may just request for a few seconds to get some amounts.
Sure.
While I'm waiting for the exact amount, Mr. Chair, let me just say, tama po si Congressman po na marami po pong pondo na unutilized since even as far back as 2024. no, na hindi pa nagagamit. Kaya po, I think, yung prinsipyo po ng efficient utilization ng budget ay kailangan po talaga maging napaka-importanting basihan kapag ang isang ahensya tulad ng DPWH ay bumabalik sa Kongreso taon-taon para humingi ng pondo. The departments need to be judged not just on the budget proposal that they have made, but also more importantly, I think, on how efficiently and how effectively they have utilized, we have utilized the funding that we got from Congress over the past couple of years. So,
Mr.
let me
Chair.
just guess a rough number. How much? Kahit estimate. Mr. Chairman, pwede ko po ba kayong balikan at I
Yes.
don't want to give a figure na inaccurate. Babalikan po kayo how much is still left from 24-25 based on the records of the DPWH.
Mr. Chair, so moving on quickly kasi limited din po yung oras natin. Another complaint of our kababayans are the road infrastructure. Na taon-taon, we do the same roads over and over again. Are there any safeguards or measures we're putting in place? Are we upping the standard for the asphalt or concrete that's used so we don't always have to reblock?
Kasama po yan sa mga reformang i-introduce natin. Ang sabi nga po ng Pangulo, ang kanyang programa ay build better more. No? Ibig sabihin, we don't just build, but we have to build better. And better means better quality. No? And unfortunately, sad to say, yung quality ho ng marami sa ating mga roads is wanting. No? And we really need to not just ensure that money is well spent and disbursed efficiently, but we also have to make sure that the projects are of high quality standard. Unfortunately, hindi po yun ang nakikita natin dito sa mga inspections natin itong mga nakaraang linggo.
Mr. Chair, just to recap for the committee, one, the Secretary says that there are over 100 projects that are being investigated which span multiple Congresses, multiple administrations over the past 10 years. Two, there are suspended projects that have red flags which are being studied at the moment so that funds can be used properly because according to the Secretary, 22% pa lang ang disbursement, so there's still 78% to be dispersed for the rest of the year. Three, regarding the flooding in Metro Manila, this representation has submitted to the Secretary and his team 5-year historical data from NOAA to help supplement their studies. And then moving on to the lowest flood control and DPWH budget in recent Congresses. And lastly, there is a commitment from the Secretary that they will up the standards for our roads here in the Philippines. With that, Mr. Chair, I thank the Secretary for his efforts to correct the problems and issues that we face here today. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Kong po. One short question, Mr. Secretary. I know the enormous job ahead of you, especially in the investigation of all complaints coming from different parts of the country right now. My question is, how do you classify the complaints coming from legitimate complainants at doon sa mga politically motivated complaints? Alam mo, nagiging politika na ho itong